What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Digital Bytes. New host, who dis? My name is Matt Bradford. I'm a director of technical marketing here at Pure Storage, and today we're going to be turning up the volume on capacity. That's right, I want to show you some of the new capacity enhancements that we've just brought to Pure1. Pure1 is a great tool for monitoring the performance and capacity of your Pure Storage appliances. You'll get a good idea of where you might be running low and where you may have an excess of capacity. And to make your life even easier, it's going to give you actionable recommendations on when to upgrade or expand your storage based on future predictions of when you're going to run out of capacity or when you may be able to get performance gains from faster hardware. Of course, all of this is at the array level, but what about the individual volumes? Well, before you could manage these through the arrays themselves, but let me show you what we can now do within Pure1. Now, under the analytics heading here on the left-hand menu is where I can go to view all of my capacity information. So in here, I can see all of my different arrays. I've got 74 arrays in this particular environment. I've got the array name, the total usable capacity here, and then also an overview of how that capacity is being consumed. But what if I want to go even deeper? Well, I can do that inside the volumes tab. And across my 74 arrays, I've got 28,000 volumes being presented. So to narrow this down, I could just do a search for a particular array or a volume. And we can also apply different kinds of filters. So for example, let's take a look at all of our volumes in Sunnyvale. And that just took us down to a much more manageable 22,000 volumes. Now, obviously I've got the volume name, what array the volume belongs to, and then also the size of the volume itself. So what is actually being presented to the host or to the group of hosts. And for a 110 terabyte volume, the host actually thinks it has written 51.7 terabytes to the volume itself. That's what the virtual metrics here represent. However, thanks to things like deduplication and compression, we're only actually writing 28.8 terabytes to the physical array itself. And so that's how we're calculating this rounded 2-to-1 reduction ratio. Now for 110 terabyte volume, I can see there's obviously a ton of snapshots. So if we were to recover all of these snapshots and present them to the hosts, that would represent 2.5 petabytes. However, in reality, we're really only writing 5 terabytes to the array. And the effective use capacity over here represents how much of your Evergreen Flex or Evergreen One subscriptions you're consuming. So obviously breaking this down by volume can be very useful. And if you ever forget what physical, virtual, or effective use capacity means, you can simply click on one of these information buttons next to each of the names, and it will give you a really nice definition to refresh your memory. Not that I'm speaking from experience or anything. So this is also handy. You can see your rate of growth or negative growth over the course of the last 30 days. And we can either view this as a percentage or as an actual value. So for example, gigabytes or terabytes. And if I want, I can sort by growth as well. So if I click on the volume button here, I can change by, let's go by the most amount of gigabytes or terabytes of change. And this volume on dog food bacon has grown by almost 3 terabytes in the last 30 days. And what we've seen so far provides a good point in time, but what if I want to view these metrics over time? Well, I can very easily do that by selecting one or more volumes. And that will populate these stacked graphs underneath. So I'm looking at my physical and virtual volumes, snapshots, and total capacity here over time. So I can see 24 hours ago what it was and what it is now. I can also change the time series here. So last day, or I can look at this at say the last 3 months. And now I have a much better visual representation of the growth that I've seen on this particular volume. I can also change what metrics I'm able to see. So I could look at my, say, snapshot physical or any other metric I want to view. Now the stack chart is just one way we can view all of these metrics, but what if I want to view them individually? First, I'll deselect this one volume. And if I click on View by Metric, every metric will be displayed on its own individual chart. And as you can see, as I hover over these charts, you can see the actual value for each point in time. And if something looks interesting, I can zoom in and I can just look at that specific time range. Now, obviously, having all of this information available within the Pure1 console is going to help me go about my day. As I start to see arrays filling up, I can drill down into the individual volumes to start to understand where am I seeing growth, or maybe what volumes can I just throw away. And if I want to start doing things like chargeback and showback, I've got that information to do those calculations, whether I want to charge based on physical or virtual capacity used. And for those of you doing custom integrations, all of this information is available from the Pure1 REST API. So that about wraps things up for today. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of these enhancements, and until I see you in the next episode, stay pure.